To all the viewers, welcome to the with the CGTN New Media. And we talk about agriculture is the most important sectors in China, and everyone rely on agriculture. And we talk about that with the faster economic development and the supply side structural reform. Let's make our focus today on Xinjiang, and we would like to show you that how the industrialization happened in the agriculture sector in Xinjiang, especially in the green and also the modern style. So let's also take a look at the southern part of Xinjiang, because large cotton fields are taking advantage of the cutting-edge technology for the high efficiency. Spring is already here, and look at I'm wearing the pink, so show everyone that a sense of spring. And in our live streaming today, we actually will connect 4 different places. We will show you different areas in Xinjiang to show you from the different angles to talk about the cotton field in Xinjiang. And we also will invite our viewers to go with us to visit the household in Xinjiang and also the cotton fields in Xinjiang, as well as to experience how technology helps Xinjiang to pull and also do the seed drills. So we talk about from the seed. That should be the starting point, right? So right now, what I'm standing here, this is the economic product, the institute, and also invite our special guest, Mr. Alice. So hello to all the viewers. I'm very glad to be part of the show today. So talk about our live stream. Actually, we know our guests actually prepared a lot and also help us to coordinate different resources to introduce more knowledge to our viewers, especially our achievements in the recent years. So I'm very glad to take this opportunity to introduce a little bit my institute. So we look at it here, actually our work basically is focused on the research work in the seeding sector. So one of the important pillar in our work is cotton. So we will see that the high quality and the high yield rate cotton should be our top choices. So we would like to see a sustainable and healthy development in Xinjiang in terms of the cotton industry. So we would like to pay our contribution to this endeavor. And we know that Xinjiang actually, in the past 3 decades, is ranking the top around China in the yield rate of cotton. And last year it's 5.2 million tons. So you can say this, 80 to 90% of cotton actually from Xinjiang. And we talk about raw material of garment, of yarn, actually all from Xinjiang. So first we look at our geographic advantages of very sufficient the sunlight and land resources, and also we look at the technology side. With generations of researchers' arduous efforts, we actually made a lot of the breakthroughs in the seeding. So make sure that the cotton can enjoy a sustainable development. And talking about land resources, of course, this is the gift in Xinjiang. Look at it, we have a vast land, and also the soil actually is perfect for growing cotton. So look at the scope of economy as well as machinery development actually are all the drivers and the propeller of the whole cotton industry for further development. Talk about the weather, actually here you can see the weather actually coming to the perfect season in the spring, especially in March. So you can see everything right now is start its machinery stage. So talk about who is the key role right now. Actually, we not rely on our farmers because right now we nearly realize 100% in machinery work. So talk about the pesticide, fertilizer, and also the picking of the cottons actually all rely on machines. So we talk about that machinerized utilization actually is quite good progress. We talk about almost all the regions here in southern part of Xinjiang actually all right now in the era of the machinery work. So we believe we see a concerted effort in the 3 to 5 years. We're not really satisfied at the current machinery level. We hope that we could realize a smart manufacturing here in Xinjiang. So right now we already realized a machinery application, but still you need involved human beings to operate the machine. And you need people stand on the field to help you to monitor the whole operation. We talk about whether we can integrate all resources together and to better utilize at the smart terminals or the nodes along the industrial chain or the manufacturing chain, so we can bring everything actually in a more digital or intelligent systems. So we hope that we also can actually to use that green, intelligent, and a modern way. I believe in the next 3 to 5 years, step by step, we will actually upgrade our machinery production to more smart production here in Xinjiang in terms of cotton industry. So this is the institution. I actually also see this exhibition. I believe is the recent years. They show us a snapshot of the cotton seeds development. Of course, right now it's not the picking season, but also you could see that actually this is a different account of cotton. So talk about cotton as one of the key research direction here in our institute. Starting from 1950s, we started to study it, and so far we selected 40 categories or the types of cotton, and so far actually we talk about that. The best candidate actually already included in the strategy in Xinjiang for the further rolling out, and that's not only the southern part of Xinjiang, also covering the northern part of Xinjiang. So like this one, this is number 80, number 84. These are all the key players here in the southern part of Xinjiang. So I believe a lot of people actually, this is maybe your very first time to see the cotton, to see the cotton field. So this is how cotton looks like in the field. So this actually is number 33, and that's quite popular in the northern part of Xinjiang. And this another is a number 57. That's also another a best candidate of seeds, plowed in the northern part of Xinjiang. So you can see they're quite a large size, right? So look at compared to my hand actually is really huge in size and very soft touch, and the color is purely white. And you look at that, the cotton fiber is really smooth, tiny, and very nice touching. So we talk about the cotton fiber, you talk about the clothing industry. Actually, they rely on this raw material. So we talk about the cotton-made products rely on the cotton fibers. And we talk about a cotton candy or a cotton seed. Naturally, a kind of the oil. And we also talk about what else we can expect. Actually, that also can produce a fodder. So we talk about a fodder. Actually, it's very important to feed the husbandry industry here in Xinjiang as well. So of course there are a lot of information is here. Actually, we also look at the products. So this is actually the raw materials. That's the for the yarn. Actually, you can tell that this is provide a very strong, resilient. Another, this is a seed, I believe. Maybe give our viewers a close shot. This is a cotton seed. So this is number 42, cotton seed. And this is our samples. This is a raw cotton. And we also have a packaging machine here, some for the demonstration purpose, and some also to showcase what actually we can expect from just a single cotton. So look at the different yarn. This is garment. Just so soft. So for sure can provide you a nice wearing experience. This is made by long stapled cotton, and also like this a shirt. So like for the gentlemen, this is something you can expect. So we talk about a currency, cash. Surprisingly, actually, the cash also actually made by part of a short stapled cotton. And look at this one. We talk about the long stapled cotton and short stapled cotton. And what else we can expect? That's also the featured products from cotton. And we talk about the long stapled cotton actually only could be expected or could be seen here in Xinjiang. And only Xinjiang is the one and the only place suitable to grow this kind of long stapled cotton. We talk about the yarn or a high premium yarn actually with a market price of 3,000 to 5,000 RMB actually all made by the long staple cotton from Xinjiang. So United States, UK, Egypt, and China, these are the only 4 countries that could grow and produce long staple cotton. So I believe there are actually quite a lot of knowledge going on here involved in Xinjiang, especially in the cotton industry. Actually, there are multiple different kinds of cotton, and also from the very beginning, that's because the seed actually decide a whole following process. So we talk about we also actually strengthen the whole capability of the team and also cultivate our talent to produce more and a high quality seeds. And also let's take a look into Shache County.
Dear viewers, good afternoon. Welcome to our special show on production of the Xinjiang cotton. And now we are at the cotton field, the sowing field right now. Behind us, we have a large cotton field behind us in Shache County of Kashgar in Xinjiang. So now we are in March. We are entering into the spring sowing season. And we all know for Xinjiang, it is the largest province in China to produce cotton. And all of these cotton produce in China is in good quality. We all talk about we have better quality of the cotton in the Shache County. Why is that? Because we have all the advantages, natural resources, the geographical advantages, and also we produce a large amount of cotton. And in the past, it takes a long time to grow all of those cotton, and also we enjoy a very good sunlight. So if we want to better understand the cotton produced in Shache County, actually it has its unique strengths. In Shache County, it is located in the southwestern part of Xinjiang. So in this place, we would say this cotton field actually absorb all of those geographical advantages. That's why these cotton are all of with good quality. And also we have a spring sowing happening right now today. So today we bring you the live coverage here to see the spring sowing in Shache County. So I believe many of you are very curious how we grow and breed all of these cotton. So just look at the big screen. This is actually a human-free operation. All of these sowing procedures are done by machines. So just take a look on this large cotton field. It's very convenient. We have hundreds of mu of cotton field, and all of the sowing is done by machines. So I can feel the advancement of our technology, especially in the agriculture area. Especially when we compare to the past, it's quite different because all of these sowing procedures are based on machines. It is quite advanced in the technology. And also we have a lot of fruit growing in Shache County, but still we believe cotton is the most famous one in Shache County. As I just said, we have very abundant water resources from Kunlunshan Mountain, and also the quality of the cotton is refined. So what are the preparation work we need to do before the sowing? For example, how we select the seeds. So while we check the quality of the seed and any skills, can you give us some introduction? Good afternoon. I'm an expert from Shache County in the cotton fiber, and when we are growing the cotton, we have 6 standards. First, we have to do a lot of cleanings to clean up the other materials from the field. And second is what we call flattering or levering. We have to lever the land. And third, this is what we call sealing. Means in the past, maybe we grow some cotton on the field, and maybe we will smash some of this cotton and also to provide some of the pesticides inside of the land. And the 5th standard is checking. We will check the quality of the seeds. So at the beginning, we have to select the cotton seeds. So in Shache counted what are the seeds that we are using. Basically, we will use 中棉 44, 49. So all in all, the seeds we are selecting actually need to suit the local realities. For example, the geographical conditions and also the weather conditions. So we may have some skills in selecting the seeds, and also we have to sow those seeds in advance to see whether these seeds can grow beautiful cottons. So we'll look at the sprouting rates of all of those seeds to see whether these seeds are up to the standard. So we also need to look at the cycle for the seeding. So actually for 9 days, we could see the sprout rate of all of those seeds. So maybe we need to set a standard. For example, if the sprout rate up to a certain standard, then we are able to do the sowing on a large scale. So we believe our seeds will generate 100% of the sprout rate. So the reason why we want to pick the seed is because at the beginning we need to do some trials to understand the sprout rates for the seed. And if these seeds are of good quality, and then we will start the sowing. So it's not like we randomly pick a seed and throw into this field. And also in Shache County, we also have to understand the geographical conditions. For example, we have to consider the weather condition, and we may see a cooler temperature in the morning and in the evening. So this is quite special in Shache County. So also we have to pick the pesticide. So after we plow the land, and then we could start the sowing. So in the morning and the evening, it's quite cold. I believe in the morning and at noon, the temperature is higher. So for Zhongmian 65 and 66, these are the two seeds that we have picked. So it's quite suitable to grow all of these kinds of seeds in Shache County. So in Shache County, it is not just well known for cotton. Also, we have very abundant land. So we have a total land of 150 mu. It's completely like human-free operation for the sowing. It's quite amazing. As our expert just told us that for the tractor, so on a daily basis, they're able to sow hundreds of mu of cotton. So this machine can only be operated by one person. In the past, we never visited this kind of cotton field. Maybe in the past, we imagined that a lot of farmers have to work on the field. But today, when we are coming here, it is quite mechanized and it's quite modern. We're also able to improve the efficiency of the sowing. And also, we can free more hands, and these people can do other things. So it can also help to improve the employment. Maybe in the past, these people used to be farmers, and right now these people can work outside of the village, and they could be some person that operating the machines. So because right now we are using these high-tech tractors to do the sowing. So let's go inside of the cotton field to better understand the sowing. So you're just mentioning that right now we are covering the film. So does that mean we have to lock the moisture inside of the land? Yes. In the past, we do some irrigation, but it will be a waste of water. And if we are covering the film so that we can save some water resources. In the past, we are doing a large-scale irrigation, so it's a slow process for the irrigation. However, it will be a waste of the water resources, and also the efficacy is quite low. And also, it will turn most of the land into salt and alkaline land. And below the film, I realized a black pipe I would like to show you. Alright, here we go. There is a black pipe. Beside the pipe, actually, we could see some of the square-shaped film. And in the past, we are actually doing the irrigation. And now we are using a different technology to do the irrigation. You could see we have two holes here, and it is the place where we put the seed inside. So by having this film covered by the land, making sure that all the water can get inside of the seed, and then we can improve the sprout rate. So for the other part, if we don't need the irrigation, we can just put a plastic film to cover up the land so that we can maintain the humidity inside of the land. So for the irrigation, we are using this new technology, meaning that we can lock this water inside of the land. So there will not be a waste of water. So above the film, you could see only one side we have seeds, and on the other side we don't have any seeds. So we are using this film to cover up those uncultivated land. So we should not step on those films. Why is that? If you step on those films, probably it will affect the sprouts of the seeds. Because in the past, we do a lot of plowing of the field. So at the beginning stage, we have to do a plowing, and then we have to level the field. And in the past, if we have any debris or remains of the cotton seed, and we have to put those seeds inside of the land, so that meaning that those seeds can be served as a fertilizer. Right now, you could see the tractor is still sowing on the cotton field. Now we are at the most important stage for the spring sowing. So when we are sowing the seeds, at the same time we are covering those fields with film. So what happened in the past? In the past, for every 1 mu of land, we have around 10 to 15 farmers or workers work on site. And right now we have these tractors and the machines, so we could free some of the labor. So basically we have 2 persons working on the field. So for these 2 persons, they can actually cover up 100 to 200 mu. So right now we have improved our mechanized technology. Now the efficiency has been largely improved, because we don't need to have any human to work on site. So the tractors can complete their work within half a day.
So right now we can see we quite shoulder to shoulder to the tractor. So let's give our viewers an even closer look. So you could see actually this is not just planting seeds, but also actually at the same time to place that film as the cover. So for the local farmer, like this gentleman actually had around 300 mu of the whole cotton field, and he actually right now today also using this machine to do all these field work. So talk about the old days. In the old days, required actually at least 10 to 15 people, and they did everything by their own hands. But you can see we saved the human head count, and we just rely on this machine. We talk about right now actually everything actually is highly mechanized. You just need one person at the tail of the machine to monitor the whole process, and also we need a driver. So right now I could see you have right now 2 machines, right? So in half a day, you basically could finish all the seeding work, right? And that's highly improve your efficiency. So talk about actually your family members, your relatives will be all involved, right? In old days. So in old days, needed 7 to 8 days, but right now you could see that just shortened to 1 to 2 days. We rely on this mechanization. So we could see actually it's make our days easier, right? And also we could see right now you have this vast land, right? This is all your cotton field, right? So we talk about for this large size, it seems like you also even increase your enthusiasms in growing seeds and growing cotton, right? So let's see what exactly for each part of this machine. So you could see this is a seed. So basically you have to have that seed. So you have the seed from this pod. So you could see this is just the seed. So let's see whether we can see that from the land. So right now you could see it's quite actually planted in the quite deep under earth, and also it's covered by the film. We don't know whether we could really find one here. So it's really, really deep under earth. So we just planted. You could see actually we could find it here. So this is one seed. So you could see actually we have different boxes that in right color. So that's the A box for the seed. So we talk about after everything's go mechanization. We could make sure each hole there for sure embedded at least one seed. So for this wheel, so you see that the soil actually is not in the perfect shape, and these actually can help you to plow and levy the land. And also we talk about that the seed should cover both edge of the film. So we talk about if that the soil actually not covered the film, and these actually the brake or think about the wheels actually can help us to tidy the whole film. So we talk about these large size. So this is around 150 mu, right? 1.5 million mu. So that's around 200 kilograms. of seeds needed. And this is a film, right? So we talk about that film as in color white. Actually, it's all covered by this film. So need that 150 mu of the area actually need that 80 rolls of these film. So talk about film actually is not quite thick, it's very thin. Because for this film that need to keep that the seed, protect the seed, and also keep a certain level of moisture. So for the thin one actually also can help us to save some the materials. So actually also very nice for lighting the sun in and also keep the moisture. So we talked about before, for the quite thicker one, we need to use 100 rolls. And right now for this lighter weight, thinner one, we just required 80 rolls to cover the whole land here you're watching. And this is the pipes for the drop irrigation. So actually, we talk about that a pipe actually is in the middle of the lines. So basically that means like the line actually placed in the middle part of the seeds. So make sure the seeds at both right and left hand side of the pipes can all be irrigated. So that's also actually make everything easier. So before it's more like a flooding or like just give the like a basin irrigation style. But right now we look at this trickle irrigation or a drop irrigation actually can help us to save the water resources, but actually also provide enough moisture for the seed. So we look at this actually as far as the eye can reach. These are the cotton field. This is at least 150 mu of the whole area. And this is actually also the largest place of cotton field in this county. As the gentleman just introduced, actually in this village, this is the largest area of cotton field. But you also look at actually this field, actually also the everything go machinery. So for your home, we have around 300 mu, so basically double the size of the cotton field right now you are watching. So right now you are watching at this around 150 mu. But this is just in this single village. And required just 2 machines to help to do the seed plowing and also the watering the land, watering the seed, and also covering the film. Think about this. In the previous years, required 10 to 15 people working for half a month to finish the whole process. But right now, you just need 2 machines, 2 people involved, just 1 or 2 days to finish all the same amount of work. So this is we talk about the machinization here in Xinjiang's cotton field. And it's also better for management as well. So look at actually make the people's days much easier. So we talk about just need 2 days to finish all these works, the spring plowing work. And also surprisingly, actually on each tractor, they're all equipped with GPS. And actually that GPS I see that's the 2 wires, and this is GPS, right? So what is for? So that help you that you need to actually follow your right track, right? And give you that direction, right? To make sure the trackers actually can go straight. And also can help you to do the positioning. So what positioning for actually? For the trackers to actually take, let's say, reference. So we have that positioning. So tracker actually based on the GPS know exactly which way should go. So this is GPS, something quite fresh and surprise us. And also look at we also can collect the data through this GPS. So look at this is not the taxi, this is just tracker, but also equipped with GPS. And also look at this screen. I can see they have already set routes for plowing. And that's the right land. I hope you can see it. So if we go to the other directions, it also help you to correct. And also would like to say that actually this is powered by BeiDou Navigation Satellite System. So actually we could see a large application of our BeiDou system. And we could see that really help farmers to do their work and also facilitate their work. So you could see actually a large cotton fields in Xinjiang actually are taking advantage of the BeiDou Navigation Satellite System for their high efficiency. So this is the sowing events going on here in Xinjiang in the cotton field. And also you could see that for this vast land, you could see just required 2 machines, 2 people to finish all the sowing events. And also let's contact to other correspondents in another place. Oh, and also before that, we invite the head of the village.
So during the sowing and in the past, many people have to work on the field. So right now the situation is quite different. So what we call a science-based sowing. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm an official from the Shache County. So in the past few years, we have done a lot of work focusing on the sowing in the Shache County, and especially using the high technologies in the cotton field. So at the beginning, we will do the plowing, and then we will leveling the land and covering with the film. And in the past, it required a great number of people working on the site, but right now, with the machines, we need only 2 persons working on the cotton field. And you could see after they plow the land, and also the worker who go next to the machine have to cover up the land. And also we will use some of the pesticides and apply those pesticides on the seed to ensure a good sprouting of the seed. And actually in Shache County, we have favorable conditions to grow cotton, and also farmers all love to grow cotton. And I believe in this place, we have the geographical advantage to grow cotton, especially the condition of the soil and also the weather condition. We have a lot of good natural resources to help us to grow the cotton. And also we have big difference in the temperature from the morning and evening. And also we are using the Kunlunshan water to irrigate the cotton field. This is quite good actually, especially for growing the cotton. The water is different, and also we have good weather, the big difference from the morning and the evening, and also the have enjoyed a long hours of sunlight. So how many hours will this cotton field enjoy the sunlight? So probably 12 hours on average. So in the evening, especially in summer, I believe at around 11 p.m. the sun will go down. And also we have the sunrise quite early, so that's why this cotton field enjoyed long hours of sunlight. That's correct. Because of the long hours of sunlight, and then we could see the good quality of the cottons. So maybe right now you're not able to see all of the cottons growing. But still, I remember last time when we were doing the live coverage, and we could see all shapes of the cottons on the cotton field. It's quite spectacular, and also at that time we are using the UAV to capture that footage. So if we look at the white and pure cotton, you can tell all of these cotton are of good quality. It's really white. And also for the farmers, they never worry that their cotton will not be sold because the quality is quite good. So that's why there's so many vendors coming to Xinjiang to purchase all of those cottons, especially cotton from Shache County. So I would like to speak for the cotton from Shache. If you have time, please pay a visit to Shache County so that you can better understand the cotton picking procedures on the field. Also, it is quite spectacular. And next time, maybe I would do another live coverage on the cotton picking season. So because when we are picking the cotton, we don't need so many people here. We only need one machine and one person operating the machine, and then we will finish the cotton picking. So right now, if we talk about the sowing, the picking, and also the management, irrigation of the cotton, all of these work will be done by machines. So because right now we are using a science-based approach to do the sowing. So any breakthroughs in the past few years? We have done a lot of preparatory work. So we are using machines to do all of the work instead of human beings. So on a daily basis, we only have one machine, one person, so it's able to cover around 100 to 200 mu of land. So any scientific measures that we have been taken to improve the production of the cotton? So first, we have made a lot of investment, and also we pick the most suitable seed, most suitable variety of the cotton. This is very important for the farmers because we have to compare different categories of the cotton. And also we have some experts who stay on site to provide guidance on scientific sowing. And also we need to have a scientific management of our cotton field. We also roll out trainings to local talents and experts. Also, we will monitor the growing of all of those cotton to understand each stage of the cotton. So right now we are doing the sowing. So when we will to apply the pesticide, do we have to take specific measures to fight against some of the insects? And actually we are applying some of the pesticides to protect all of those tender shoots of the cotton. And of course, we will monitor all way long to understand each stage of the growing of the cotton. And of course, we have to kill all of the other insects and also the herbs. So each year, we have done a lot of work, and also we are doing a lot of investment to improve the quality of the cotton. This is thanks to the concerted efforts from the Shache County. Indeed, we have done a lot of work to improve the efficacy for the growing of the cotton. Thank you very much for your introduction. So this year, we actually invest a lot in growing the cotton. In order to produce good quality cotton, it is very important for the early stage, for example, the selection of the seeds, and also when we applied all of the pesticides. All of these are very important for us to raise the high quality cotton. And right now, we are using machines to get rid of the weeds inside of the cotton field. So I would tell for Shache County, it is highly mechanized. So if you want to pay a visit to Xinjiang, so just follow our live streaming. Maybe in the future, you could have a personal visit to Shache County to understand the raising and the growing of the cotton. And we also have another guest, Mr. Peng, a party secretary from Shache County. Good afternoon, and today we are doing a special live streaming on the cotton field sowing. So we want to better understand the sowing procedures of the cotton field. So in the past few years, your village have been dedicated in the growing of the cotton. So what are some of the changes? As you can see, in our village, we have very large size of the cotton field. In the past, for each mu, we need to have 5 to 10 people doing the sowing. It's a waste of the labor. And right now, you could see the agriculture is highly mechanized. And for the picking, all of the picking are actually done by machines. And also right now, we are also using the machines to do the sowing on the copper field. And on the tractors, the large-size tractors, they're all equipped with the BeiDou Navigation System. Just now, I actually look at the screen of the monitoring screen of the tractor. By having the BDS system, so we are able to make sure the tractors can move on a straight line. We have set up different diameters, and also we plan a route so that we can do a targeted sowing of the cotton seeds. So right now, it's highly mechanized in our cotton field. It is not just limited to the area of sowing. It also helps us to apply and sprinkle the pesticides, and also help us to plowing the land and also leveling the land. So all of these can be done by machines. In this place, we have around like 300 mu of land. In the past, we need to have at least 1,500 farmers to work on site. Right now, we only need one machine, which are able to do the sowing for 100 to 150 mu of land. So actually, right now, we are human-free in our work. We are freeing the hands of our farmers, and according to their needs, we will provide some trainings to these farmers. And these people can set up factories, and also these people can become workers in the counties. And by doing that, their income will be increased. And also some of the land can be centralized for centralized growing, and it will also help to increase the income for the farmers. We save the labor, and also we improve the production of the cotton. So at the beginning, we are doing the leveling, and also we are doing the sowing. So we are also have set up a specialized mechanization center, and they will also send out an expert for us to provide guidance and trainings. So our farmers know exactly how to operate these machines and the tractors. By doing all of that, it could help to largely increase the income of the farmers and also the production of the cotton. And then the farmers have time to learn more skills and find a better job and enjoy better services. And I believe with your leadership, and our farmers will have a better life in the future. And right now we could see some of the hands are free, and also for the local farmers, they don't need to work on the field. Because here in the cotton field, we depend heavily on the machines, and these farmers can work outside and find a better job. And with the use of these high technologies, and then the production of the cotton has been increased. And of course, we are also paying attention to the quality of the cotton. And actually, for our village, it is quite suitable to grow cottons, and the production has been significantly increased. And also, this year, we are working with a Central Institute on Science, and we are trying to introduce more seeds into the cotton field in our village. We are trying to select the best seed. We are testing around like 20 seeds, and of course this year we'll continue to find the most optimum seed to be grown here. So it will help to increase the income, and also it will help to increase the production of the cotton. So we are not just well known for our cotton. Also, Xinjiang is well known for the local fruits. We grow peach, figs, melons. And also, we have largest land to grow the blackberries. And we welcome people from different parts of the world to visit Xinjiang and to taste our tasty fruit. So especially when we are coming to the harvest season, welcome all of you to come to the cotton field to experience the cotton picking. And actually, cotton can lead our local residents to march towards a moderately prosperous life. And actually, around in October, we are entering into a harvest season for the cotton. And also, we have the most beautiful scenery in October. Because our village is located right next to a desert, actually you could enjoy the view of the desert and also the river. And after we finish the cotton picking, you could also pay a visit to our other fields to pick the fruits, and also you can pay a visit to the desert and enjoy the beautiful scenery. We welcome all of you to come to Xinjiang for a travel. Thank you very much for your invitation. And if you have time, make sure you pay a visit to Xinjiang, pay a visit to Shache County. So today, we are actually bringing you a live coverage on the spring sowing on the cotton field. And we are seeing on this land, our farmers are still doing the spring sowing. And actually, we are doing a lot of introduction about the basic knowledge about the cotton sowing. So if you are still worried about the quality of the cotton, just pay a visit here, so that you understand how white it is and how pure it is of the cotton that has been grown here. And also, we have the best quality of the cotton growing here. So for the farmers, they are also using the cotton to make quilts. It's very warm. And also we are making the textiles with different varieties of the cottons. All of those are very high quality, good quality cotton-made fabrics and products. So for Shache County used to be known by cotton. So once again, we would like to welcome you to pay a visit to Xinjiang and pay a visit to Shache County. And we have come to an end to the live streaming. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. That's just our visit to Shache County, and that's a field visit to bring all the live footage to our viewers. So this is actually the exact way how right now people, especially farmers in Shache, actually grow cottons, how they plant the seeds, and also how machine help them to do the cotton work. And right now we're also back to the institute, and this is where we started this live streaming. So we talk about the seed, actually the very important one, because that starts the whole process, right? So we talk about where is the place we select all the candidates or cultivate all the candidates. These are the places. So we show you that all the secrets here. We talk about the seeds, actually also can be considered as the chips. So of course it's a very complicated process. So before that we select it in the field, and after several years of selection, we could find one best candidate over 1 decade. Right now with the advanced technology, we use the biotechnology to help us to select the seeds, so we actually can know that the grade of the seeds, and also in the laboratory we could know exactly which could be the potential candidates for the different areas, actually much shortened our time for selection. And also we could find the better quality seeds. So this is actually the laboratory here in our institute, and for select the seeds, and we have a group of talents involved here in selecting the best seeds and also find the potential ones. And the whole institute actually working for the industrial crop or the commercial crop. So this is the laboratory here in this institute. So could see actually the 8 researchers actually quite busy doing their work, and they did some analysis on the existing cotton and also how to find the potential best candidate in terms of the quality seeds. All right, we talk about actually that with the help of the technologies help us to shorten the time, increase efficiency. So also actually we would like to give greater benefit to our farmers, because like for the best seed that can help them to increase the yield rate of cotton and also help them to get more pay. So this is how really technology play its role. But still in this laboratory we don't have actually large group of people involved. And also actually at a different cotton field, we also have a research base. So we have the people really at a front line to help us to work with the local farmers. Especially right now is the best season as in March and spring. So right now we are doing that planting. So we'll also actually keep a close eye on the performance of the seed, and also we'll do some field visits and study there. So far we talk about we have already studied in the different cities and townships and villages. So let's maybe visit other places, okay? Alright, welcome back. And this is we also move to another room of a laboratory. So we come to another room. I believe that this is also the seed breeding room. And also we talk about actually this is involved smart technology because that provide constant temperature. And we look at actually this is a room to cultivate or to do the seed breeding. And look at this is a different seed of cotton. And talk about your daily work. What kind of the work that involved? So that's involved the laboratory work, laboratory research, and also the seed breeding. So we also talk about actually we need to look at the disease or the green sickness of the seed. So we also look at whether we can have the seeds that's anti-green sickness or the resilient to this green sickness. So that is why you look at we have this room. Actually, we hope that the whole cotton actually can grow stronger and also to yield the results. So we look at see that it can blossom and also have the right now we see that very soon when we see that result. Actually, what is the we call the fruit actually from the cotton? Actually, that's exactly the cotton we expect. So from the cotton seed in the end, what we expect that's the cotton. So we talk about that's the cotton verticillium wilt. So this is kind of the disease that we don't want. The impact, the cotton yield rate. So far we have around 50 taps, and also we'll look at the balls opening. So we could depend on that ball opening decide the quality of the cotton. So for these, actually, we talk about we not only have cotton seed here, we also have the sunflower actually also grow here. We hope that to see that maybe have a new type of the seed could be developed here, and also would like to see the further commercialization of the rollout of the seed. So we talk about that first. We will go another round of selections and also will be verified in the actual base. And also we will actually bring that seed. Actually, we talk about that the seed is not basically exactly take the seed from our laboratory, directly grow that in the field. Actually, we actually have the successful one here in the laboratory and then bring that to the large base, and also they will verify it in that experimental base, and then later on we'll also actually will do further development to that seed to make it suitable to plant in the actual cotton field. So we talk about there are a lot of things going on under the different projects. So just now we talked with Dr. Lai. So that's right now we look at the seed breeding work going on here, and especially we're looking for the anti-cotton verticillium wilt. So talk about our laboratories here. We would like to use different ways to select a stronger seed that could against different types of disease. So we have that got a certain amount of seeds. We would like to bring them to Hainan or to the southern or northern part of Xinjiang for further verification. And then we will prepare for the cotton field tests.
Actually, I'm not an expert in the growing of the cotton. So for all of these plants, to me, I feel it looked the same. So at the beginning, we have the tender shoots and also the whole breeding procedures. Can you give us some general introduction about these different stages? So these are not cotton. Well, I thought this is a sprout of the cotton. No. And we do have some tender shoots of the cotton. Just take a look at this one. These cotton have just coming out with the sprout, and then we will move them to another pot for further cultivation, and when it gets stronger, and then we will move it to another larger pot, then we will move it into a small pit, and then you could see some of the fruits are coming out from these seeds. So how long it takes? Well, the time is the same. Well, it takes about like 4 to 5 months to complete the whole procedure for the germination and the sprouting. So what is the temperature in this greenhouse? We are actually simulating the real situation, and also we have the solar power to provide the sunlight. The temperature is about like 20 to 30 Celsius degree. So we have to make it below 35 Celsius degree. So now we have different new breedings and the new types of the cotton. So also I think these are in good quality. So how we can better educate and publicize these different kinds of the cotton seeds? So when we are selecting the seeds, we will try to find the most optimal one, the most suitable seeds to be grown in the southern and the northern part of Xinjiang. And actually, there were two major topics in the 13th five-year plan. We have to focusing on the breeding of the cotton seeds. And we are focusing on the raising, the growing of the long staple cotton and also the short staple cotton. So for this one, you could see it has already have the bulb opening. We have the fruit coming out from the cotton. And we will look at the different varieties of the seeds. And in the northern part of Xinjiang, it is highly mechanized. But of course, we have to better select the seeds so that they could adapt to the new environment. So they have to be very resilient to the disease, and they have to be sensitive to the soil, and also they need to have a decent bulb opening. So all of these factors have to be considered. And all of these seeds will be suitable for smart agriculture. So we can use the machines to pick all of these cottons. And in the southern part of Xinjiang, it is the same situation. And also we need to make sure that the seeds can be grown in the southern part, and also we could use the machines to pick the fruits of the cotton. So the breeding is the most important part for us. And of course, we need to have a good skill for the plowing and the sowing. And also we have to improve our irrigation technology. Now we have 3 teams based in the south and the northern Xinjiang. But all in all, we think it's most important for us to find a premium type of the cotton seeds to be applied in the Xinjiang and the southern part of Xinjiang. And we do pay a lot of attention to the high quality development of the agriculture. And also we attach great importance to the mechanized production. So right at the beginning, when we are selecting the seed, this seed should be suitable to be collected by machines. So right now for the whole process, we believe that it is highly mechanized. Can you tell us more about this? So I believe in the northern part, we already realized the mechanization, and going forward, we have to focusing on the development in the southern part. And in the past few years, we do witness that some of the areas have been mechanized, and believe in the coming 3 to 5 years. So we will realize the mechanization in the southern part, but of course we have to put more efforts in it. By doing that, we can free the hands of our human beings so that they will not focusing on the sowing and the leveling of the land on the field, so they can learn more skills and find a better job. And in the past, when we are growing the cotton, it is quite complicated, and many of the working procedures have to be completed by humans. But in the past few years, with the development of the technology, we do not depend on humans. We could use machines to do the job for us. And also in the sowing, we are using machines to do the sowing. And actually, it could help us to improve the production of the cotton. So right now, we have the sowing conducted by machine, and also we are using the BeiDou Navigation System to facilitate in the sowing. And in the future, maybe we will also use the UAV to facilitate the picking procedures. Well, this is quite advanced, but we think this is quite common practice in Xinjiang. And also right now we are having set up a lot of mechanized institutes and centers in the north and the south part of Xinjiang, so that we can make sure that the different places can realize the mechanization. And also right now we are using the internet, the 5G technology. In the past, the farmers, when they're trying to breed the seed, trying to sow the seed, they have to stay on site. But right now we have adopting a lot of the technologies, and soon in August and to the October, we enter into the season of the harvest. And right now, all of this work can be done by internet. It is quite advanced, very high tech. I have one more question. Have you frequently visited the southern part of Xinjiang? Well, I'm focusing on the Kashgar, and I just saw a comment from our viewers. So right now we are using machines to replace the human labor. So what did these farmers do right now? And these people are able to find different jobs or better jobs outside of the village. So right now we are using some of the machines, but still from time to time we need some human interaction. For example, we need some people to manage all of those machines. And also they can help to improve the service for the agricultural production. Yes, you're right. And for certain places, for the southern part and the northern part of the Xinjiang, and these farmers, they may try to find jobs in different areas in Xinjiang. And also, with the support of China, with the development of the rural revitalization, some of the farmers would like to work locally, and they will start to promote the rural tourism. And all of this will help to create jobs for the farmers. So these people, they don't need to work in other cities, they just stay at their house, and actually their income have been redoubled as well. One more question. Based on our research achievements, what is the future direction? In the future, we will continue to focus on the research, and maybe we'll adjust some of the plan for the cotton production. And also we will advance and also improve some of the technology in the seed breeding. For example, we will do more basic research. And this will help us to refine our technology that will be used in the future. This will help us to promote the commercialization of all of those equipments and machines. And also we will try to shorten the cycle, shorten the time for us to breed the seeds. so that we can bring up more new generations of the seeds, so to help us to be more technological advanced for these seeds. So right now we know that we have done a lot of work in the seed breeding. So did we have any projects to work with other companies? For example, whether we come up with some new products from this synergy. So we are focusing on the product end. So we have cotton-made products coming out. We are working with some tobacco companies. So maybe we are not closely worked with those people, those companies, but if they have a need, there is an opportunity for us to work with them. So from time to time, they may need the material of cotton or cotton fiber. It is possible that we can work with them. For example, we can work with the tobacco companies to provide them some raw cotton materials and raw cotton products. And they will also give us some funds for the development of the seed breeding. And by using those funds, we will continue to do our research. So we are trying to find new sales channels for the cotton to open up the market. Yes, right now we are working with other companies in China. Also, we learn the latest technology. And we will also share some of the research achievements with them. So by doing all of that, we can better publicize and also recommend our cotton to the other parts of China. So I would like to turn over to the TD. So let's see what we're going next. So during the preparation time, I have one more question. I would like to interact with the viewers. And during the live coverage, I saw a lot of comments from the viewers. And most of them, they're actually showing appreciation to the cotton production. A lot of people are actually praising on the cotton production in China and the cotton production in Xinjiang. And some people are talking about the technology that have been applied by the film. For example, whether the thick one or the thin one is more environment friendly. And also, they're quite impressed by the technology that we have been used in picking and sowing the cotton. And also, a lot of people asking questions about the irrigation technology. The large-scale irrigation versus the drop irrigation. Right at the beginning, when we are applying to use the cover, the film, and also when we are using the drop irrigation, we have done a lot of research beforehand. So for the film covering, I think this is very important to protect the land. In the past 2 years, we are doing a lot of trial operation and trial testing to see whether it is better to apply the cover or the film on the cotton field. And also other laboratory in China is also looking into this issue. And we are trying to see whether we can recycle all of those films and reapply all of those films on the cotton field. So at this point, we also propose maybe we could make all of those films thicker. So by doing that, it can better protect the field. So it could better help to lock down the moistures inside of the cotton field. And for some areas, maybe they're not aware of the importance of the film. That's why some people are using the thin films, which is not the ideal situation for the covering of the cotton film. However, if the film is too thin, it is not convenient for us to recycle all of those film, and it will potentially contaminate the cotton field. I hope at a national level, there will be a standard for us, so it could standardize the production of the film. Because we don't want some of those residues of the film to be stuck inside of the soil. I think this is echo of the green development of the agriculture. So alright, so the party secretary have just responded to your questions. Thank you very much for this section of the live streaming. And thank you for your support for the Xinjiang cotton. Now we're ready to turn over to another site.
是吧？好的，谢谢主持人，网友们，大家好！您现在看到的是新疆日报社联动直播。
Thank you very much, all our viewers. Right now, you are tuning in with CGTN New Media, and this is a live streaming bring to you from Xinjiang, and we bring you a live coverage here. This is in Xinjiang, and this is a Valley County, and this is we also show you how really the mechanization help the farmers to plant the cotton. And we have around 117,000 people living here, and talk about we have 1 million mu of cottons growing here, and we are right now in this cotton field, and we could see a machine and also the farmers waiting here to start their work. And would you please talk more about this equipment, because we know right now actually is realized 100% mechanization. So we have that on board is the BeiDou or DBS. They're actually to see the drills, and we have the sealed in the right box, so that's the seed box, and also at the same time you could see that film. So basically we're plowing seeds and then covered by this film only by one machine here. So the machine actually per day can work for 100 to 150 mu. And also we talk about the Uygur County actually enjoying a long history of plowing cotton. So talk about our history of plowing cotton or growing cotton actually countries 100 years ago. But we talk about actually a large development covering larger space of cotton field actually is in 1980s. So before in 1980s, that's around the 3,000 to 4,000 mu with the advanced technology. We could see actually the cotton field areas has been keeping growing. And we also talk about actually these years are the overall coverage of cotton field maintained at 1 million mu every year. So let's cut the talk and start the work. And also, let's see whether we could invite our viewers on board. All right. So this is really the front seat provided to our viewers, and this is the machine that used for plowing seeds of cotton and also place film as the cover. And we could see it's equipped with BeiDou Satellite Navigation System, so that help us to monitor the whole direction we are heading to. So it's a very easy job, right? So how long have you been applying cotton? Around say 20 years. So it's same as your old days? Of course, no. So it's like we have the really old style tractors and involve the more hand, and also we'll of course not really do that plowing work in these strict lines because we don't with the help of the GPS, right? So it's really hard work in the old days. And also you could not really finish the work in a short time period. So it's really physical energy consuming and time consuming process. And also actually before though we had the tractors but it involved 2 drivers. But right now you could see that it just follow the GPS, the tractor can go directly by itself. Do not need a driver to be involved. So before per day, just around 50 mu per day. And right now it's like a doubled of our daily plowing work. So it's increased our efficiency for sure. So just show you a little bit on board how driving works. It seems like that our big bro quite enjoy that driving work because he talked about before used the old style tractor. Actually, though as a driver, it's the same job, but actually he couldn't drive the whole tractor in this strict line. But you look at right now because of BDS, actually saved headcount and also could see that all these strict lines as so well organized. So we have a standard in place actually in terms of cotton seed plowing. So for the layout, or talk about the arrangement of this land, you could see actually it's in a well-organized manner because we have this exact standard in place. So we know exactly the distance between each line. And of course, BDS help us to achieve that. And talk about a cotton field plowing actually experience the different stages of development. Would you please talk more about the changes among different ages? So talk about started from 1980s. We actually started experiencing that the high-speed development, and also started to use this fixed film. Actually has already helped us to double our yield rate. Before just around the 100 kilograms. And then we actually, because of the film, we reached 200 kilograms. In 1995, we also named as a demonstrating place for cotton plowing base. So we also actually made a lot of innovation in cotton breeding and the plowing. You could see actually we always strive to upgrade our work. So right now we could see that this is a vast of land. Actually, we also could see that the high yield rate from each and every strain. So you could see actually we made a lot of breakthroughs in the seed and also the plowing method.
跨越一个，对不对？
这个呢产量又大幅度的提升。那么现在呢，咱播种技术，就是咱们这个密度呢。
And also you could see that we used different materials and also the technology help us to save the cost and save the material used. And right now we could see at 14,000 the roots actually involved in the applying cotton, and also our yield rate actually always improved, and we also could see that right now the yield cotton from this cotton field actually is higher quality. We could see the temperature already bound to a higher level, and we talk about that in the southern part of Xinjiang actually is a perfect timing to start the applying work. So in April actually is the whole month is good to do the cotton plowing work. So we talk about the first half of April. We could call it the best season, the golden time to grow the cotton. And we talk about March is still a little bit cold because we talk about the irrigation. The water resources we use actually from the same source that's still quite cold because that's from the mountain. So still the temperature of the water used for irrigation is quite a low temperature. So that is we say that in April that'll be much better. We talk about actually we only had that a film covering on top, right? So actually the film, the main purpose of that film actually is to keep monitoring for the seed. So we have that the early planning going on, and also we have that winter irrigation already ahead of the schedule, and also actually we talk about need to also warm up a little bit this land to get it ready for the following work. So basically we talk about that we still of course to go align with the change of the weather, and also we talk about in March we may also experience some temperatures up and down, and also we could still have some really cold chill days, but still for our work is for more the preparation side. So we need to warm up the whole line to get everything involved ready for the busy season in April. And we look at this film actually we just placed an hour ago, and we could see actually the moisture locked under the film. So we talk about that moisture locked for the soil and also for the seed. And also we talk about that also to help to increase the temperature of the land. That create an enabling environment for the seed to sprout. We talk about a tractor before actually you involved a multiple hands at the tail to do the seeding and also the leveling work. But right now you can see just involved 1 or 2 people at the tail to monitor the work. You could see actually we also have that the irrigation equipment on board and also help to save the water resources. So would you please talk more about the irrigation part? So we talk about that the irrigation we want to achieve that the drop irrigation and save more water resources and achieve the high quality irrigation work. Actually, we first set the goal of water the resources conservation, and then that force us to calculate back to see how we could reach that goal.
After you do the water-saving irrigation, it will help to improve the production of the cotton and will help us to better apply the pesticides inside of the field.
更利于我们精准这些施棉花。
So by saving this water, it will help all of those seeds to absorb all of those pesticides. So it is a more precision-based application of the pesticide. So we just talked about how we save the water resources for the irrigation. After we sow all of these cottons, and then we will enter into an important stage to manage the cotton field. Can you tell us more about the key links about this management, or any reminders for us to manage the field? So the sowing is the most essential part for us to produce the cotton, and it will help to improve the efficacy for us to pick the cottons. And also we will prevent some of the diseases to attack all of our seeds. But of course, we will constantly monitor the situation of the growing of the cotton so as to prevent the diseases against the cotton. And after we have the bowl opening of the cotton, and we will do the drop irrigation. This is the second stage. And of course, we will continue to apply the pesticides on the cotton field. And actually, it revolves about a lot of steps for the management of the cotton field. And also, we have to pay attention to different varieties of the cotton, because different varieties may require different times of the drop irrigation. And also, we have to manage the irrigation times so as to better control the quality of the cotton. And just now, Director Wang just told us how to better grow the cotton. And also for the Yuli County, it used to do a lot of work to better set up the warehouse to store all of these kinds of the cottons. So what is the role for those warehouses to help to increase the production? And back in 2006, we're starting to test the composition of the soil to understand the soil condition to grow the cotton so that we can better select the pesticide. We also do some chemical testing to the soil. So actually, we are checking the organics contained inside of the soil and whether the soil would potentially turn into alkaline. And all of these are very important for us, and every year we will do the chemical testing for the soil. According to the condition of different pieces of land, and then we will apply the different types of the pesticide so that we can achieve a balance. For some of the organics existed in the soil. So all in all, it is more precise in the operation. So in the past, we are just like putting some of the pesticides inside of the cotton field, but it may generate some of the negative impacts. So this time, we are more scientific in managing the soil conditions and also managing our expectations for the growing of the cotton. In 2020, so I believe the incidence rate for the disease for the cotton has been largely reduced. Why is that? Last year, we have constantly monitored the situation of the weather and also the soil condition. And especially in autumn, before we harvest all of these cottons, we have to analyze the soil composition And we will also apply some pesticide to protect disease invading inside of the cotton. And also we are doing a lot of weedings to lower the risk for our cotton to get infected. By doing all of that, we can significantly reduce the incidence rate for the disease for the cotton. I just said the concept land circulation. In the past, in the harvest season, we see many people may come into the field to pick the cotton. But right now, we don't see many people coming to the cotton field. Does that relate to the land circulation? Yes, it is highly relevant with the land circulation. We have enterprises to grow the cotton on a large size of the field. After we centralize all of those fields, it will help us to grow more cottons, and then the production will be increased and also the cost will be reduced. And also we are using a lot of equipment and machines to pick the cotton. And just in the past few years, we are able to use the machines to pick the cotton. So in the past, for every 1 mu, we need about 10 people to work on site. Right now, with the use of the equipment, we barely need people to stay on the field. Every time when we come into the harvest season, we just need a machine and 1 person. So actually last year, after we enter into the harvest season, so people are actually leaving the cotton field because we don't need any people to work on site. So actually we are reducing the labor usage on the field, but still we are able to increase the income for those farmers. So last year, actually 5,000 people free their hands in the cotton field, and also they're able to find better jobs. So I believe in 2020, and we have over 1.06 million mu of cotton field. So what are the remaining lands? So actually we will continue to cultivate those lands to grow other plants. So what is the purpose? To return those fields into cultivated land. So we actually, each time when we look at the condition of the soil, we are looking at the composition of the organics. So we are paying attention to specific indexes. So for some of the cottons, actually, after the cotton fruit have been harvested, there may be some residues remain inside of the field. It will actually affect the composition of the soil inside of the field. So we will do some analysis of the soil to identify the level of organics existing inside of the field. So after we collect and pick all of those cottons, and then we will recultivate the land. So just now we are talking about the fumes that covering the field. So how we make use of those fumes? Actually, we will recover all of those fumes for further use. In the past decade, we are able to use all these kind of protective fumes on the cotton field. Because in the past, we do see some of the fumes are not up to the standard, and it will potentially damage the soil and contaminate the soil. And right now, 85% of the film covered the cotton field will be recycled. So right now, when I look at the dirt and the earth, I don't see any traces of the protective film. Yes, indeed. Most of these protective film have been recycled, and we don't see many residue of these kind of film inside of the field. And this will also help us to improve the quality of the soil and improve the productivity of the cotton.
侯队长你好，这一块地是您负责是吗
？So we have another expert joining us, Mr. Ho, who is taking charge of this piece of the cotton field. So actually, he's the boss for this piece of the cotton field. So what is the size of this cotton field? It is about 99 mu. So can we finish our job today? Yes, of course. I believe we can complete the sowing by 4 p.m. today. So right now we are using these machines to do this sowing work. So actually they started off quite early. So right now you could see for most of the cotton field has been covered with these protective film. So now you could see this cotton field is highly mechanized. Can you tell us more about the advantages brought by these equipment and machines? Actually, if we use the machines, it is better for us to cover the films on the cotton field. So right now we are covering the film with the width of 1.25 meters. Actually, it is quite narrow. And if we use the machine, it is better to press all of the film and cover up onto the cotton film. So this kind of film is basically wind-proof, and we're not afraid of rain anymore because it can better protect the soil. In early April, after the temperature goes up, and actually it could help to lock all of those moistures inside of the field. So if you look at the film, it is quite narrow. It is only 1.25 meters. Let's take a closer look on this protective film. It is quite flattened on the surface. And also the edging is very refined. It will help us to prevent the strong wind. And actually in late March and early April, there may be some changes of the temperature. We are referring to the strong wind. We don't want the wind to damage the field. But right now we are using this pressing technology so that all of these film can be attached to the earth quite solid so that it will not be impacted by the wind. So right now we are using a lot of equipment and machines to do the sowing work. So have you do the calculation, for example, how many cars can we save? So first I would like to talk about the covering of the film. It is totally automatic and also it is quite precise in doing the covering work. In the past, it takes a long time for a human being to do it. So for one person, it costs him about like 120 yuan, but we need like 3 persons to do the work. So that is like 260 yuan. And so basically for one mu, the cost is about 9.9 RMB. And also some of the equipment have been used with the BeiDou Navigation System.
So basically, we will first did some DA preparation because of BDS. Actually, you could see we have really the straight lines. So we actually placed or well planned the route for the machine, help us to save a lot of the head count. So we talk about the 14,562 mu of the whole farming land. And we talk about the headcount cost per each mu, the 190 RMB. But right now, because everything actually picked by machines, so that for each line we just spent 220 RMB and saved around 700 RMB. So saved headcount and also saved some cost. So that helped us to save around 780 RMB yuan. So how long have you been involved in this industry? So more than 30 years. So talk about the level of mechanization. Actually, you could not really compare the current advanced level to the old days. So in the old days, the yield rate, of course, this also depends on different irrigation, because you look at right now we use that the irrigation by dropping, and in the old days we actually use irrigation by flooding. So you could see right now, because the irrigation technology also much improved, so that also helps us to increase the yield rate. So in the old days, the peak number was around 320 kilograms, and right now we talk about the current level for this land is around 456 kilograms. So last year it reached 520 kilograms. So we talk about that. See the tangible benefits actually brought to the local farmers with the advance of the mechanization, so that saved the cost for the local farmers and also improved their efficiency as well as the output of the whole land. So in Yuli County, how many the team leaders like you? So only 2 leaders. So these 2 leaders, 2 bosses covering 14,526 mu of the whole land. You look at actually, we do not need a lot of people in the whole process. Basically, the machines and also the 2 leaders basically could let us to see the whole seed plowing work done. And with the further development of the cotton industry, you could see that the companies in this sector also actually got further developed. So this is Mr. Zhang from a local cotton company. And actually you also here to keep a close eye on the whole seed plowing. So for us, actually, we're more like a supporting role because we involved at the later stage. So we really care about the whole process. So starting from the day one, we hope ourselves to be better involved. So talk about the cotton industry, especially cotton companies, actually from 0 to 1, actually it's just developed in a very short time. So would you please talk more about your company? We actually started in 2012. And we had an industrial park. And we also right now have the phase 2 project to enlarge our industrial park. And later we will divide our industrial park into 6 areas for different functions and the purpose. So that's more the textile part, the knit and the woven areas, and also the area to produce or process the yarn, and also the folders. So that covers a lot of products from cotton. So we talk about the cotton resources. We would like to further leverage the advantages of the cotton. So we talk about the cotton and textile companies. Actually, everyone focus on the high quality of the cotton from here, because like I always talk about that's a premium quality. So talk about the Xinjiang-based cotton companies. So please talk more about your industry. So right now, talking about the products, we had the garment, yarn, textile related industry, and also we have the other products that for the home textiles. So basically, you could think about all the possibilities actually that could be extended from cotton. Actually, we all right now transfer them into the actual products and also sell them in the market. So talk about the yarn, talk about the garment, talk about the home textiles, and we actually even sell them to the really southern part of China. And we also talk about, because it's high quality cotton, actually we talk about the premium shirts and the premium underwears actually all use these cottons. So basically you could see that also demonstrates how comfortable the cotton is, because that's the first layer. So we always emphasize that a good cotton should be suitable to make the first layer clothes. So we talk about the shirts, we talk about underwears. So a lot of cotton actually from here, from this county. And also, as Mr. Zhang introduced, we talk about actually from the scratch. We actually could see that we attract many cotton companies to move here. So any policy-wise initiatives we had. So we would like to pursue the high quality development and also upgrade and transforming the whole cotton industry. So from the government level, there also actually had a lot of these kind of policy, supporting policy released. And I will talk about the Korla, we talk about the Uygur County. Actually, this always a large cotton produced places, and we also attract the companies from the coastal areas and also from Guangdong to attract them to establish their base here in Xinjiang. So with different campaigns, different initiatives, different policies, we attract good companies to establish their office here. So we talk about actually how that helps the local people improve their way of life. So we talk about, because these companies move to Xinjiang, that help to create additional jobs, right? So that help to move the farmers to the other non-agricultural or non-cotton career. So that actually help to create additional employment, right? So that's that a lot of jobs that's available here to the farmers. So let's also see another special guest here, a beautiful lady. Actually, you take a lot of photos. So what I'm doing, actually, I introduced from the day one how that the whole cotton that you are wearing from a very small, tiny seed. So basically from a tiny seed to the end, like the home textiles, the clothes we're wearing. I actually would like to show the whole chain. So, the lady actually involved in the e-commerce platform, the platform industry. So right now they have around 350 people managing the e-commerce platform and also attracting a lot of companies. And they also have the trainings to these companies and also invite them to the different fairs. And also have the trainings to improve people's skill sets, so better can promote and tell the story of the products from Xinjiang. So we talk about the clothes, and we also see that the other product we talk about home textiles, and also we talk about a quilt. Actually, this is a quilt with cotton winding from BeiDou, and look at this is kind of the cotton, and this is called the a combat cotton. And we talk about actually these the cotton we talk about we have that for different layers. Actually, we talk about these kind of cotton actually involved 1,000 layers. If we look into details, let's zoom in. We could see actually this is the without the net inside or the grid. So we talk about this is really soft, super soft. So it's like the cloud, like touch and feel cloud, like the cotton. So we talk about this quilt, ladies and gentlemen, this quilt from a local made cotton. I could tell you that you always can have a really tight, nice sleeve with this quilt. So we talk about that from single seed at this land. Later on, that will be these kind of the products actually benefit people in other places. Talk about the before the quilt actually made by hands. So that's during the coping stage. It could not really actually to get rid of the dust or the toxic the elements. So we talk about that. Not that smooth in the paddings inside the quilt. So that's right now we use this combed cotton actually can help you to really get rid of all these troubles. I talk about our live streaming and e-commerce platform. Actually, yesterday all our members actually got together to promote the quilt from Yuli. So yesterday we had already sold 1,900 orders, and right now we're still receiving new orders. So what else besides this quilt? What others are available on your e-commerce platform? So talk about goatee, and that's the kind of the Chinese wolfberry, and also we have the other muttons also from the Xinjiang. Actually, we talk about we always create additional channel to increase household income for local farmers. So for the second half of this year, we would like to create a brand for local agricultural products. So we'd like to see that we have the stricter standards and requirements on the whole processing and producing stages. So make sure everything here have a standard and rules and requirements in place so we can better control the quality. So talk about the UD also would like to create a brand for local cotton, and also would like to see that right now because of technology, so we have this equipment involved. Right now this year we realize 100% mechanization help to lower the cost and increase their income. We believe that people here will have a promising life. So this is Yuli, and a very nice place produce cotton, and also invite our viewers to pay a visit to these places, enjoying the local food and enjoying the also the products made by the cotton.
大家好，您现在看到的是人民网新疆日报社联动直播的新疆。
Dear viewers, good afternoon. Now you're coming to our special coverage on the cotton field in Xinjiang. So I'm a reporter from Kuka city of Xinjiang. Now I'm standing in a large field of the cotton field in front of the Kuka city, and behind me we have 4 large size of unmanned tractor, and now they're actually testing these tractors right now. So we're trying to understand the testing situation here. So right now we're running the commissioning and also the testing for the tractor. How does it go? So everything is ready. So when we're testing the machines, how long it takes? Why we need to do this kind of testing? For the testing, we have to adjusting the GPS system and also to set up the parameters. So it will help us to use the machines to do the cotton picking work. So how long have you taken to drive this kind of unmanned tractor? 4 to 5 years. So you must be quite experienced in driving the tractor. So I believe you also provide some of the training to the freshmen. Yes, I have some apprentice learning from me how to drive this tractor. So in the past, maybe we just have some farmers working on the field, and now you have this equipment and the tractor. So what's the income? At least 10,000 yuan per month. It's quite decent, right? Right now we have completed the testing of the tractor. We could start our work. All right, the driver is about to operate the tractor. So actually there were no workers together with the driver in the tractor. All right. The tractor has been started, and right now we are starting the spring sowing in the Kuka city. This is an unmanned tractor. We have the GPS system, and it will adjust the direction automatically, and also it could do a precision sowing. It could help to improve the efficacy for the sowing. So alright, you could see the driver is already getting down from the tractor. Now the tractor can do the sowing on its own. We just need a few people following the tractor so that they can step on the films. So for this city, it's actually in the southern part of Xinjiang province. And we have around like 223 villages with about like 650,000 people in the village. And also we have direct flights from Chengdu to this specific city. So every day we have about like 28 flights coming between Chengdu and Kuka city. For Kuka city, actually it have also very dry temperature. It's quite cold in winter, and also it have a big differences in the morning versus the evening. And for this place, because of the geographical advantage, it is well known to grow the cotton.
每年的我们这个大型机械啊，无人驾驶拖拉机的使用呢，除了我们雅哈镇的这个一些机械之外。
So every year we will have this sowing season. We have this large size of tractors doing the sowing. Except for this self-developed equipment, we also work with local cooperatives, and also they're participating in the sowing site. So we have a person in charge from the local cooperative. Can you tell us more about the operation of the machineries? And this year we have prepared 20 tractors to do the sowing work. And it will help us to expedite the spring sowing. So everything goes smooth. So how can we ensure the safety for the operation of the machinery? We will do the safety training to the drivers. That is the first step. And then we will run the training to the apprentice. For our cooperative, we also buy medical insurance for the drivers. So how long it takes for the training? In general, it takes 2 months for the training. So right from the basic knowledge, so that they could understand some of the basic knowledge about the mechanics, and then how to use the unmanned operation system, and how to do the testing. So altogether, it takes about 2 months for the training. For this unmanned tractor, I believe we are able to have one person sit inside of the tractor. Yes. So after we complete the testing, actually the driver can step down from the tractor, and they could either go back to the tractor or they could have a remote control of this tractor. So how can we ensure the safety for the operation of the tractor? Because you could see we don't have any screens or remote controller like holding in our hands. For the navigation system, we have already planned the route for the tractor. So actually there's no deviation or differences of the route. So we have a standard and default setup. So it will not affect the route and the operation of the tractor. So the deviation is just like 1 to 2 centimeters. It is acceptable. So now I would like to talk about the layer, the film. So we actually apply the double layer film. Why is that? We have to understand the features of the cotton and also the weather condition in the city of Kuka. We think this double layer film is more suitable for our place. It will help to increase the production of the cotton. If the cotton production increases, and then our income will go up. So when we will unveil all of those film, for example, the first layer of the film, that depends on the weather. On average, if we look at the current temperature, within 10 days, we are able to uncover the first layer of the film. According to the temperature here in the city of Kuka, maybe we're able to uncover the 2 layers of the films. Thank you very much for your introduction. So right now you could see the sowing is still going on. And in Yaha town, it's also a very important place to grow the cotton. And also it is a place to produce the cotton for commercial use. So what is the situation in Yaha County? We also have a NPC deputy with us, Mr. Tu. Thank you for joining us in our show. So I believe the city of Kuka is very famous to grow cotton. And for Yaha town, it is one of the important towns in the city. So what is the size for the plantation of the cotton this year? So for our town, we are very famous to grow cotton. So we have grown the cotton to 2.2 million mu. And also we are providing a lot of cotton to the province, and our geographical condition is quite good, so we are able to improve the production of the cotton. And we'll start the sowing from today, and it will end about the late April. So for the sowing of the cotton, are you cooperating with the local cooperative? Well, actually, in the past, our farmers go directly into the cotton field to grow the cotton, and right now we are working with the cooperative. So they're dividing the lands to grow the cotton, and we are actually doing a large size cotton production right now. Thank you very much. Actually, the land circulation have actually changed the tradition for the growing. And right now, we are having a standardized growing of the cotton, and many farmers have joined the cooperative.
All right, for Yaha County, we would like to know more about the rollout of the mechanization. So we also invite another guest, and actually the gentleman is here to lead the whole project to promote the utilization of the mechanization. So talk about the mechanization and also the intelligence actually are the key words here. Of course, we will change our way of doing the agriculture. So you could see actually involve the machines and also the UAVs. And also not only limited to cotton, actually look at other agricultural crops, actually also use more or less the same logic to do our plowing. So we talk about mechanization actually to already replace the older days or old-fashioned agricultural work. So talk about the featured products here in Yaha County. Our cotton, of course. So we have around 280,000 mu of cotton. And also talk about the fruits. Actually, that's also quite good. We have the apricot, so that's around the 20,000 mu. And it all help to increase the income for the local farmers. And also would like to create the brand for the local farmer here in Yaha County and the Kuka City. And we have 100,000 cow and 100,000 donkeys, as well as 100,000 sheep. So I believe actually I named a lot of things here. So there are a lot of the featured products available here. So still we emphasize that the BDR system, that's the BeiDou Navigation System. So that's already equipped in each and every machines. You know, the tractors actually are the key assets for the local farmers. In the past 5 years, with the support of the government, we introduced a large number of the tractors with the BDS, so could see that help us to save them the headcount, so people free of their hands and also move to the other industries that also help to increase the income for their families. So we talk about they involved in the collectives. So we talk about their monthly income of local farmers. I can see that for sure the much improved. So that's before they had like 5 working force. Just per month, their income is 7,000, 8,000 RMB. Right now, they already reached that 17,000 to 18,000 RMB. So this is quite a lot dramatic improvement. So you could see this is a machine, and you could see it's a driverless tractor. So this machine helps to plowing seeds and also place film to cover the seeds. And also at the same time, that also do that the job irrigation. So cotton industry in Cook that also help to boost the rural revitalization as well as poverty alleviation. So right now you could see they have already upgraded the whole industrial chain, and right now you could see that integrated industry already taken shape here in Kuka City. And I would like to see a promising development in this area, so the people before impoverished could also share more from this whole process. All right, we also would like to talk to another special guest. And he is a contractor of the whole cotton field. So the Mr. Xiao. So how long have you contracted? So this whole area actually is around the 20,000 mu. For how long? 3 years already. So would you please talk about the operation situation in the past 3 years? So we worked with the county level collectives. So basically, the local farmers gave their land to us. We paid the fees for them to them, and they actually have the people with skill sets actually also hired the local farmers as drivers and also to manage the whole land, because farmers are quite happy to do these jobs because that we help them to improve their home income. And actually this provide the jobs to them. Before actually if they did everything by themselves, actually it's just that they quite a low level of income, but actually they rent the land to us, and we also hire them as the workers. So this really helped them to increase their income. Then talk about efficiency. We save a lot of hands. But also look at actually how much to increase the efficiency. You could see we actually can plowing seeds in a faster speed. So talk about the turnover for 20,000 mu of your land. So we talk about actually in the first beginning year, the first year always is a really hot year. So last year is the 330 kilograms as the output, and this year our goal is 380 kilograms. So how you achieve it? We rely on technology, rely on mechanization, and we also find experts to give us a really hands-on training. So we also have the technicians on site to help us. And also the farmers, actually, they also can learn a lot of knowledge and also the skills at the same time. So we talk about actually throughout the whole timeline, how the operation could be better managed. Actually, we could say that all the outcome of cotton from this land, we totally sold, actually already have the users waiting for our cotton. So talk about the type of cotton we are planting here. Actually, that's the long stapled cotton. So we also invite experts, not from the planning side, also from the machine part. So basically, we have the people to talk more about mechanization. So we have people specific to manage that equipment. just the tractor. So the gentleman actually is here to maintain the tractors. So help to make sure the tractor operate in a normal situation and also to train the local farmers. So they need to check the status of the tractors in a healthy and a stable condition. And what about the requirements on their skills? So we talk about that for the arrangement. We look at this layout or formation is already in our requirement. And we also talk about the target amount should be planted in the targeted place. So this is actually, we have GPS, and also we train the farmers to understand the whole process. But still, machine actually make our life easier. Thank you. So we will also talk to the local leaders about the actual plowing and planting situation here in Kuka City.
我们现在使用的这个无人驾驶拖拉机呢，它是北斗卫星导航系统，也是我国呢自行研制。
So we talk about this driverless tractor actually is empowered by the BeiDou Satellite Navigation System. So you can see that can help to finish the whole plowing requirements involving seed planting and irrigation, and also the film placing. Actually, also can really to see that all these work can be done in a very straight lines. And we talk about the straight lines, and we talk about the distance or the formation actually already well managed and designed, and that's all actually installed in that GPS system. And right now we talk to the leader of the local agricultural machinery station. So talk about the cotton planting here. Actually, in the 13th five-year plan, there's an increase to the 1.71 million mu. Right now, increased to 135.6 kilograms, and we talk about everything actually standardized, and also with the help of the technologies, the much improved in terms of the working efficiency and also the output. So talk about why I would like to roll out this machinery work, and also I would like to increase the scope of the economy. We talk about look at the modern agriculture sector actually require us to better utilize and integrate the resources. Talk about small agricultural household. They had different understanding in terms of technology and also the plowing work. So we would like to see that first we did some demonstration work and also help the local farmers to understand why we should do so. And we look at the cotton planting. Actually, we also is one of the best demonstration place for the cotton planting. So we talk about the cotton is our white industry. 40% of the house income actually generated from cotton. So it's a pure white and really the moderate fiber length. So for the garment factories, really like the cotton from Kuka City. So talk about the local weather condition also actually create a favorable the environment for planting seed and planting cotton. So we talk about the cotton actually have not really the requirement on the water resources. We talk about actually here the weather condition is the have less raining, so it's the warm temperature continental weather condition. So we talk about right now we bring the one single layer film to the double film. So that the double film also help us to lock more moisture. And we also increase the efficiency, improve the efficiency of land usage. And we talk about actually look at the working hours. Before we only could made our work in the daytime, but right now we could see we could work around the clock. So that also laid a solid foundation for us to improve the more incomes and also to generate more outcomes from the land. Before we actually just did the really bold irrigation by flooding, but right now you could see that we right now doing that a drop irrigation. And also save the water resources, and as also we talk about efficiency, we talk about a targeted manner. These are all the additional keywords for cotton planting here in Kuka, and it also help to increase the usage of the fertilizer. So right now is the spring plowing season, so we also have a certain requirement on the land temperature, right? When is the time to start our work? For the southern part of Xinjiang, for Kuka City, that's a 10 to 12 degrees Celsius at the Earth level of the 5 meters. So that's the best season. So talk about April 5th to 25th. That's the best golden window for us to do the cotton planting. And if the weather is warmer a little bit this year or colder this year, we'll also judge slightly the golden window.
So when can we complete the sowing? So I believe by 25th of April we are able to complete. So you're saying that we are actually covering the double layer film. When can we able to uncover all of those layers? Because we have the sprouts, we have to make sure that we have enough air inside of the land. Can you tell us more about this? So I would like to tell you about the double layer film. It will help us to improve the land temperature. It will help all of those cotton to germinate. So if the temperature reaches to an ideal situation, then we are able to remove the first layer of the cover. But if we have some adverse weather, for example, the strong wind and also sandstorm, and then we may want to protect the field. So we will look at the weather condition. When necessary, we will uncover the first layer of the film. So by doing that, we could have more air inside of the land, and then the cotton can grow in the ideal situation. So in the city of Kuka, what about the production? So we are focusing on the production of cotton. We are working with the seed factories and also the local cooperative. We also have local textile factories working with us. This is the way how we develop the cotton industry. So for some of the textile companies, they will purchase the cottons. They will cottons the seed cottons. And some of the cottons are able to be used in other places in China. Thank you very much for your introduction. So every year at the spring sowing season, we do receive a lot of support for some of the local enterprises. Right now, we would like to talk to a party secretary for the power supply company, so he will tell us more about the spring sowing. So how can we ensure the power supply during the spring sowing season? So actually we have a special plant to provide the power into the cotton field. We are working with the agriculture farmers, households. We are also providing a supporting mechanism. We have also have a service team and also a CPC team. And actually, the power supply can cover the 2,032 kilometers in our city. And also, we have done a lot of the inspection work for the power usage in the city. In order to better provide the service for the power supply, we also set up a 24/7 hotline to provide services to the local farmers. So now you could see some of the workers from the power supply companies. They're actually working on site to ensure the power supply. Because each year at the season of the spring sowing, we're not just focusing on the equipment, and also we have to look at the irrigation equipment. Thank you very much for your contribution.
我们刚才听了咱们这个农机站站长的一些介绍，还有我们的技术人员的一些介绍。我们现在
Just now we are hearing a lot of introduction from the experts who are working on site. Right now we are using some modern technology, machineries, and it actually reduced the workload. Now you could see just right behind the tractors, we just have a few drivers and some workers. They're just like checking the sowing procedures. So that's what we need to do for the sowing.
所以呢，我们这个大型的机械啊，也是对我们的农业工作的一个考量。你像以前的人工驾驶。
So for this large size of machinery, it will help us to improve the efficiency. In the past, actually, maybe we will test the driving skills of the driver. For the sowing, for example, we need to follow a certain path. Depends on the sensors of the drivers. But right now, we are using these automatic machines. So because we have the navigation system, and then we are able to set out these like special routes. With the development of the machineries, more and more machines are used in the cotton field, and we're able to free some of the hands of the local farmers. And this year we have over 20 tractors being used in the cotton field. With these unmanned technologies, it will help to improve the efficiency of the sowing, also help to improve the productivities of the cotton. So many farmers are working together with the local cooperative. They're actually handing in their lands, and they're actually like working outside of the village, and then by the end of the year, they're also able to share the dividends from the cooperative.
好的，观众朋友们，那您现在收看到的是我们库车正在进行的无人机棉花
Alright, dear viewers, you're watching our special coverage about the cotton field in Xinjiang. So we are at the city of Kuka. And today we talk a lot about the cutting-edge technology and their functions in the agriculture work in the cotton field. We can actually feel the dividends that has been shared by the modern agriculture. So that comes to the end to our live streaming. Thank you very much.